Restore Thrive, we're back giving you guys a late Mother's Day present this year, and what we're going to talk today about is foot health. And so the reason we're going to talk about this is because we see this a lot in the clinic, that a lot of people come in with foot pain that really is preventable. And the problem is that most people just don't have a reference for how to keep their feet healthy. And the reason we're doing this around Mother's Day is because of this beautiful and terrible thing, the high heel. And this is something that obviously women have to deal with on a daily basis sometimes. And the problem with this is that this creates an adaptation in the foot that is not normal, and it causes a lot of downstream problems. There is, however, a way to offset this, and that's what we're going to talk about today with some simple exercises for you guys. So let's get right to it. One of the first things we see, because of the way this shoe is shaped, if you want to come in here and look, is that the forefoot, or the front of the shoe, is in a triangle position. But then if we look at the foot, the front of the foot is not a triangle. It actually spreads as we get to the front. So if I'm in a shoe that forces my foot into a triangle position all day, what happens is that over time my toes get shoved together and I adapt to that. So the way that we like to offset that is with a simple exercise we call the toe reanimator. And this is an easy thing to do. I'm going to use my left foot as the example, and I'm going to use my hand to do the work here. So I'm going to take my fingers and I'm going to put my fingers between each of my toes, and then with my free hand I'm going to stabilize around my midfoot, and I'm just going to start to take my toes through all those normal shapes or positions they should be able to get in. So I should be able to flex my toes up, I should be able to pull them down, I should have a little bit of side to side motion, and I should definitely be able to rotate up and down. And I'm just going to hang out and work this for about 1 to 2 minutes. This is an easy thing to do on the couch at the end of the day. So that's mobilization number one. Put in 2 minutes there. The second thing we want to attack is the back of the foot, what we call the rear foot, or most people just refer to it as the heel. And one of the things we'll see in this shape when we get into a shoe like this is some people just have a naturally high arch. Is that when their foot hits the ground, they land on the outside of their heel, and then they roll into the inside of their foot. And so you'll see a big callus, and even sometimes a bunion develop over the years on the inside of the ball of the foot. And we'll see a very weak and flat foot emerge. And so one of the consequences of that is that we get very stiff, and we get into what we call an inverted position in this heel bone here, where that heel is always kind of rolled in a little bit. I always hit on the outside of my heel as I walk, and I roll to the inside of my foot. And this causes stiffness in the other direction, where I don't have any motion for that heel to go in the other direction and to get the middle of my heel down when I step. So this is what we call a calcaneus mobilization here. We're trying to get back that eversion motion to get that heel straight so we can walk with better mechanics. So I'm going to pull my foot up, grab around the midfoot again. I'm going to take my hand, again with the opposite side hand. So if I'm mobilizing my right heel, I'm taking the heel of my left palm, and I'm going to push right on the end of that calcaneus, and I'm going to try to just kind of snap that off the back of my ankle a little bit. I'm pushing straight down, just oscillating on and off that. And again, I can spend a good 1 to 2 minutes working on restoring just that normal ability of the heel to get right behind my ankle, so I'm not in that always rolled out position. The last thing we want to do when we have mobility restored in the foot is we want to actually use the muscles in your foot. And the way we're going to do this is with a simple exercise we call a toe curl. So the easiest way to do this is just to sit and then try to curl your toes underneath you. You'll notice that as soon as I do that, my arch picks up. So your arch is actually a series of different muscles that help support the middle of your foot. And what we see with most of the people who come in with foot pain is they don't have good strength through their feet. How many of you have done dedicated foot exercise before? This is your start right here. The toe curl is very simple. Again, curl your toes in, hold for about 3 to 5 seconds, let them back out. You can try to let them spread and spread your toes apart as you come back out, and then curl back in, hold for 3 to 5 seconds, and then let them spread out again. We'll do that again for 1 to 2 minutes. So in total, if you're working the front of the foot with the toe reanimator, you're working that heel mobility, and then you're doing the toe curls for 2 minutes apiece. You've spent 6 minutes restoring that normal foot mobility and starting to reclaim some of that strength in your feet. So give these things a try. Let us know what you think, guys. We'll talk to you again soon.